They said no one should ever play the drum after midnight, but one boy didn't listen. Long ago, in the village of Kabona, music wasn't just sound, it was spirit. Every rhythm had a meaning, and every drum beat was a prayer. At the center of the village stood the Okuru drum, carved from the heart of an ancient Iroko tree, and said to be older than the oldest ancestor. Its skin was stretched from the hide of a lion, its rim adorned with quarries, and it shimmered faintly under moonlight. No one dared touch it except the chief drummer, Old Man Ndaba, who played it only on sacred nights. The elders said the drum could speak, that its beats carried messages from the ancestors. But there was one rule that every villager knew from childhood: never strike the Ukuru drum after midnight. Because after midnight, it was said, the drum spoke not to the living, but to the dead. In that same village lived a curious boy named Kwame. He was barely 16, but had rhythm in his veins and a heart that beat like a djembe. Whenever old Damba played, Kwame would sneak close, listening to the sacred patterns. He would imitate any rhythm on his small drum, from wedding beats to war calls, and the people laughed, saying, the ancestors must have braided drums into this boy's soul. But admiration quickly turned into curiosity, and curiosity into obsession. One night, after a festival, Kwame overheard the elders talking by the fire. They said the Okuru drum was the only one that could summon the ancestors themselves, that its rhythm could make even the spirits dance. Kwame's eyes widened. Imagine, he thought, if I could play the ancestors' song, I would be the greatest drummer in all of Kabona. That thought, innocent but dangerous, planted a seed he could no longer ignore. The moon was full when Kwame's temptation overcame him. Everyone had gone to sleep. The village fires burned low, and the only sound was the chirping of crickets and the distant whisper of night wind. Quiet as a shadow, Kwame slipped from his hut, carrying a small lantern and his drumsticks. His heart pounded, half from fear, half from excitement. The Okuru drum waited in the chief's hut, shimmering faintly under the moonlight as if it already knew. Kwame hesitated. He remembered the warning, never after midnight. But he looked up. The stars were bright. The air was still. Surely the ancestors will understand, he whispered. He struck the drum once. Boom! The sound echoed through the night, deep, rich, alive. He struck again. Boom, boom! The drum began to hum back, like it was breathing. The air thickened, the shadows on the walls twisted. Then the drum spoke. A deep, trembling voice rumbled from within it. Who wakes the ancestors before their time? Kwame froze. His stick dropped. The lantern flickered, then died. From the darkness, shapes began to form, glowing figures draped in ash-white cloth, their eyes like burning coals. They moved in rhythm, their feet not touching the ground. Their whispers filled the heart, rising and falling like a song only the dead could sing. Kwame trembled. I meant no harm, he stammered. The voice from the drum spoke again, heavier this time, like thunder rolling over a grave. You sought the sound of wisdom, but wisdom is not a toy. The spirits began to circle him, chanting words he didn't understand. The ground shook. The drum beat changed, faster, darker, like a heartbeat losing control. Please, Kwame cried, forgive me. But the spirits only said, you wanted to hear us, child of earth. Now you shall listen. And suddenly, everything went quiet. The lantern reignited, and Kwame was alone. But the drum kept whispering, low and steady, as if something inside it had awakened. From that night on, Kwame could hear the drum, even when no one touched it. It whispered in his dreams. It hummed when he passed the chief's hut. It called his name whenever the moon was full. He stopped eating. He stopped laughing. His mother grew afraid. The elders noticed strange things too. At midnight, the Okuru drum would sound by itself, soft beats that carried across the village like ghostly footsteps. Goats would bleat, fires would die, and those awake swore they saw shadows dancing. Old Damba confronted Kwame. "What have you done, boy?" he demanded. Kwame fell to his knees and told him everything. The old man sighed, not in anger, but sorrow. "You played the ancestors' song without their blessing," Damba said. "Now the spirits walk through you." The elders gathered and decided the only way to break the curse was for Kwame to face the drum again, and this time to offer respect instead of pride. So on the next full moon, Kwame walked back to the chief's hut, barefoot and trembling. The entire village waited outside, silent as the stars. Inside the hut, Kwame knelt before the Okuru drum. He didn't bring sticks this time, only his hands. "Ancestors," he whispered, "I was foolish. I sought your song but forgot your silence." He began to tap softly, gently, not with pride, but humility. Each beat was an apology, each rhythm a prayer. The drum responded, its voice softer now, almost sad. The air warmed, the shadows retreated. Outside, the villagers saw the hut glow faintly, as if moonlight had entered it. Then, one last boom, deep and final, echoed through the valley. When they entered, Kwame lay asleep beside the drum, tears on his cheeks but peace on his face. From that night on, the Okuru drum never spoke again. The people say Kwame lived a long, quiet life, teaching children the true meaning of rhythm, that every drum beat is a heartbeat, and every heartbeat must know when to rest. And so, in the village of Kabona, whenever drums sound after dark, the elders still whisper, "Play, but not after midnight," for some songs belong to the spirits. Years passed after that haunting night. The Okuru drum remained in the chief's hut, untouched, not out of fear, but out of reverence. Whenever the moon rose high, its light would rest on the drum's lion-hide skin, and villagers would swear they could see faint handprints, the same ones Kwame left behind the night he found peace. Kwame himself grew older and wiser. His once restless heart calm like a river after rain. He became a teacher of music, not the loud kind that seeks attention, but the sacred kind that listens before it plays. He told his students, a true drummer doesn't just strike the drum, he listens to its spirit. For every drum has a soul, and every soul needs silence to breathe. Children came from neighboring villages to learn from him. He taught them rhythms of rain and of healing, and songs to honor ancestors before every performance. Under his guidance, the young drummers learned not just how to play, but when not to play. One evening, as Kwame sat under the baobab tree with his last student, a strange wind blew across the village, warm and gentle, carrying the sound of a single drum beat from afar. Boom! It was deep, but soft, peaceful. Kwame smiled. "That," he whispered, "is the ancestors' way of saying they have forgiven me." He looked towards the chief's hut, where the Okuru drum shimmered faintly in the moonlight, and for the first time in decades, the people felt no fear, only calm. That night, Kwame passed quietly in his sleep, his hand resting on his small drum, a faint smile on his lips. And when the villagers woke the next morning, they found the Okuru drum glowing in the sunlight. It was warm to the touch, and on its rim, written in ash grey markings, was a single phrase no one had ever seen before: respect the silence between the beats. From that day forward, the people of Kabona honored both music and stillness. The drum became a sacred teacher, never cursed, but forever wise. And every time a young drummer lifted his sticks to play, the elders would say softly, "Remember Kwame, the boy who learned that even the loudest song must bow to silence." And that is why the people say curiosity can open doors meant to stay closed, but wisdom knows which ones to leave shut. Dear listeners, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more African folktales.